I've been addicted to drugs and alcohol for 50 years. I first started smoking marijuana, like on the weekends. We had parties and we smoked weed, drink beer and wine. And that was just on the weekends. And that was for a while. Then when my cousin passed away, I started drinking and smoking weed every day. When you're selling the TV, the stereo, it's pretty bad. And then after the drugs are gone, you want to watch TV, you want to listen to the stereo, and they're gone. I never thought I'd get that far where I start selling my goodies. Every day was a drink or a drug. It wasn't recreation, it was a job. And I talked to my daughter about it, and I told her I wanted to stop and if she could help me out.
All right, I am Trisha. I am Floyd's oldest daughter. And my dad, we've been separated since I was 5 years old. My mom decided that it was too unhealthy and too violent for us to stay in Ohio. And she decided, through lots of different things that she was gonna go as far west as possible. So we ended up in California. And I've always been a daddy's girl. I've always wanted to be with my dad. I always would have picked him first because of how strong that relationship was, even from when I was 5. And so moving away from him was really hard. And I loved him with all my heart, but I knew that we had to go because it was getting bad. His alcohol abuse he just wasn't who I loved. And it was just, we had to leave.
When you start thinking about you don't want to live anymore, you have nothing to live for, no family, no God, rock bottom.
I never stopped wanting my dad. I became a Christian when I was 12 years old. Actually, shortly after my dad had came out and visited. And him and my mom were gonna try to work things out, and it just didn't work out. And we didn't have Christ. We didn't have any kind of spiritual security in our life at that time. And it was a very short-lived situation, and he went back to Ohio. And after that, I became very, very sad and depressed, which God used. He brought me to him, and I became a Christian at 12. And ever since I was 12 years old, I have prayed with all my heart that God would protect my dad and that he would keep him safe, he would keep him alive, and that he would save him. I don't know, I felt like he was just like my best friend. I just really looked up to him, and he did something right, because honestly, with Jesus, he did a lot of extra work, but I always knew, I've grown up to be quite a secure woman. And so I know that my dad did something right in those, first 5 years that I was with him. And so, I try to encourage him, like, God, he's got your back. He took care of some stuff, when you weren't able to, but you did good, In 2020, I had went to a fundraiser dinner for a drug and alcohol program in Santa Rosa, California. And as I was there, I just was like, oh my dad could come here. And I started to break down and start crying, like I've never even asked him, it'd been years. And so when I came home from that, I called him. Did I call you?
Yes, you did.
I called you. Sorry. And I was like, Dad, there's a place here that you can go and you can get off drugs, and it's a long-term, and it's Christian based. And he was like, okay, I'll do it. And so we had made arrangements for the family to come for Easter that year, and then we were gonna put him there, and then COVID happened. And they canceled all the flights, and he couldn't come. And during that time, he was just stuck. I remember calling him, and he would just be like, I just gotta get out of here. I can't take it anymore. I'm like, you have to make it. You have to make it. And during that time, we decided to move to Idaho. And it was like, Trisha, you better get on the ball because you got to find something for him because we need to rescue him and he wants to be rescued. And that's all that, he needs is, do you want to be rescued? Yes. Okay, let's do this. So, and then there was that, that like God moment. We're at the racetrack and there's Boise Rescue Mission tent. And my little sister was visiting and it was like, let's go see what they have. Like, what do we have out here? It's time. We got to get our dad out here. But he had to come off of all drugs and alcohol and cigarettes.
The hardest part was the no smoking. The shakes, seeing the little bugs flying around your head, it's not there. Your stomach not feeling well, you feel like you're going to throw up.
And I was so proud of him because he did it. Like, he did it. I had help with, his little brother helped me, and we got him on a plane and we got him here. I can't believe the change. Like, when he first got here, he was super quiet, very like, what's the word? Disconnected, emotionally disconnected because, for 50 years he'd been doing drugs and totally not connected with any kind of emotion.
I wanted to leave. Ricky talked me out of it. He said, you can go back to the same old. Oh no. I had enough of that, so I decided to stay. For quite a while, I thought the Father had turned his back on me. But being here, I know better now that he would never turn his back on me, no matter how low I sink. I didn't have any hope earlier, but I have hope now.
And just as the months have gone by, it's like more and more of him is coming out. We get to see his personality. We're having a good time. We go to church together with the family. The kids are like, Mom, we love Grandpa. He's really funny. And they're even saying like, wow, he's like so different. He's changing so much. And it's just literally years of prayer, 25 years of prayer that God has answered just to bring him out here. And it was his choice. He had to make that choice and he was ready. And it's so cool to just watch what God's doing and how he's restoring the entire family. The rest of the family is starting to move out here. Pretty soon he'll have like most of all his kids and grandkids here. His wife is here. So, I mean, it's just been amazing, tremendous to see what God's doing and just those years of prayer.
Well, it's given me a new look, outlook on life. And it doesn't seem so hopeless now.
And he did the work too. I was so proud of him once he got here. Totally detoxed, of everything.
I've been drug-free and alcohol-free for almost a year. I couldn't do my recovery by myself. Well, my family is a motivator. I don't want to let them down. And I don't want to let the people down at the mission because they've done a lot for me and been very patient with me. And the Father, I don't want to let him down either. I've done enough of that for the last 30 years.
What's next is, my expectation. My expectation is that him and my mom really mend their marriage properly with the Lord and with some serious counseling. They were pretty awesome, to tell you the truth. I even told my dad just a couple of weeks ago, like, you know what, just so you know, Mom never bad-mouthed him. She always just like respected the fact that that was her husband and that was our dad. And so she never ever bad-mouthed him. And so they've been in contact pretty much forever. And they actually, on and off, just been best friends, even though they were separated. Just throughout their estranged marriage. They're two procrastinators that never got a divorce. So, but now, God's restoring that and, he's got a lot of work to do there. But, he's got to make two whole people to make a good marriage. So he's making the individual people whole. My mom's definitely changing and getting closer to the Lord over the last couple months. And so it's been good. It's been really good. We have Sunday dinners and we go to football games, and he can watch his grandkids, grow up, and, and which we're seeing that a lot too. Like we were at pizza the other night, and I don't know, there's a look on his face where it's just like, I'm alive. I can see it. I'm like, he's literally living life instead of, in his words, just sucking air. So, I mean, just to live the rest of his life in harmony and dignity and get to have, a little bit of life at the end of his. So, I mean, there's a lot more. I mean, I don't know, at your rate, you're probably going to live to you're like 100. So.
We see each other every Sunday. We go to church and we spend time together on Sundays. The wife, the children, and my grandchildren. Well, I'm really looking forward to watching my grandchildren grow older.
Thank you so much for giving generously to this ministry that saves and changes lives. And I would, it is the most important thing to do with your resources. And it is God's call for us to bring people out of the darkness and into the light. And this is exactly what Boise Rescue Mission is doing. The amount of support, family support, and I can't even believe it. Like, I'm kind of like every person I walk by, I'm like, you should go work there. You should go volunteer, give your money, everything. So, I mean, it's amazing. And so thank you so much. And I don't think a single penny is wasted. So.
I'm very grateful that I'm still here. Well, I appreciate everything that they've done and they're doing because it's helped me out immensely.